Greetings, ladies and gentlemen of the interwebs. Once more joining me are my co-hosts, Dave and Jordan. We're doing another trailer analysis on the new Terminator movie, Terminator Genisys.
Terminator 5.
Yes. Which, to my understanding, is a sequel reboot kind of deal.
Which is weird.
Yeah, it is.
It seems like there's a time travel element and...
Sort of like Transformers 4, sequel reboot.
Have not seen it, but yes. Which, I mean, it's like, did it really need to be rebooted? I mean, again, it's kind of a sequel, but it's still...
But do people need money? Yes.
Yes, most
Therefore, we make the movies.
I mean, I like the cast overall, because I like Emilia Clarke, who's, for you Game of Thrones fans, plays Daenerys Targaryen, so I'm a huge fan of Game of Thrones and her. That's Sarah Connor, so I'm all for that. Arnold's back.
I'll be back.
I feel like, I mean, he's got to be in it at some point.
You gotta have him.
Yeah, you gotta have him. And he's still, he
How
says...
big is he going to be in it?
Probably not
Who
very
knows?
You probably saw all of them in the trailer.
Probably. But he says, I'll be back. And then just, like, leaps out of a helicopter.
So,
and
he will be back in the movie.
He will,
right,
yes.
Yeah,
it's not just like
Or he's just
CGI
back in the
face.
trailer and he's not in the movie.
I will be pissed off.
Who knows?
Like, they didn't just CGI his face on some ripped dude's body, like in Terminator Salvation. Like, this is actually him and his 60-something-year-old self.
Post-Governator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Post-marital affairs.
Yeah.
He's written a book.
His daughter-in-law could be Miley Cyrus one day, so...
And he's,
some things to look forward to.
He's learned some lessons,
Yeah.
He's back as a
An
more...
actor.
Yeah, as a more learned...
Actor.
Yeah.
Learned Terminator. More sensitive, and he's a machine who's been through things.
Exactly. So we'll say this,
Is he wiser for it? We'll see.
I do feel like the trailer...
I think it's going to be about a machine's journey.
You're rambling far too much. You need to stop. I think like the teaser was released, but I think at the time it was released, it was kind of like completely like swept away by like Star Wars. Cause I think the Star Wars trailer came out like around the same time along with
yeah.
Jurassic
How are you going to
World.
compete?
Yeah.
So we kind of forgot about it. I think.
Yeah, because like I saw the
really
trailer
wasn't that
or the
excited
teaser.
about it.
No, but it's still
It's big action.
Yeah.
Flick.
And again, I like the Terminator series,
Especially for all you fellow grammar Nazis out there. Why spell Genesis in the stupidest way possible?
Yeah. But that's a whole nother thing.
It's a whole other thing that shouldn't affect my opinion of it
that's-
as much as it
It's spelled
does.
wrong?
What?
You're fired.
I know this is an internet show, but
Genesis always has a Y, right?
God, read your Bible, Jordan.
Exodus,
Leviticus,
Numbers,
Deuteronomy,
Joshua,
Luke.
Judges.
Let's get back on topic
Matthew.
now, gentlemen.
Okay.
I know we've had a little bit of alcohol in our system. But let's get back on topic. So thoughts, feelings, and emotions.
These videos are going to get a lot better.
or worse.
I got one word for the whole trailer,
Do tell.
and it's action.
How do you spell that?
A-K-T-I-O-N.
Get out.
There's a C in there somewhere.
Okay,
I'm too
so-
intoxicated to...
A-C-K-T-I-O-N. Booyah!
We need somebody to replace Jordan.
All right, I'm back. That was my clone.
He sobered up after a
A-C-T-I-O-N. Action.
Thank you.
Which there's a ton of action in the trailer, which is why it's going to be a good movie if you like action. So
Yeah.
check it out just for that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I didn't realize Jai Courtney was in it.
For you Spartacus
Also
fans.
Spartacus person.
I
He was
wasn't.
in
I haven't looked at the cast at all besides Arnold.
the horrible last...
Die Hard movie.
Yeah. The terrible last Die Hard movie.
I haven't seen the last
That's
one.
beside the point.
Not the one before that wasn't bad.
Live Free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually like that. But
his character is
past
basically,
horrible.
I guess, the...
But I like Jai Courtney. to reiterate and not let Jake talk.
This is my show, damn it. Quit interrupting me. Anyways, so I guess, judging from the trailer, he's essentially the new version of Arnold Schwarzenegger's character from the original series.
Kind of what I got from it.
I guess like the kind of old model, or actually no, I don't even know if he's a Terminator. He could be, because in the first film he wasn't a Terminator that came back to the past. He was just a regular human. And
Was
Arnold
he
was
in
the
the
bad
other
guy.
one? That was Sam Worthington, right?
No, I'm talking about the very first Terminator movie. Like the guy who went back in the past to save Sarah Connor was in
Okay.
Terminator.
I thought you were talking about
No, no, no.
Salvation. Like Jai Courtney wasn't in Salvation.
No.
We saw that one together, gentlemen.
We think we can't really
Yeah.
figure that out.
I'm pretty positive I did.
But so like I'm not 100% sure whether he's a Terminator or not. Possibly he's just a human sitting back.
I don't know. I maybe that's a mystery we're supposed to be.
Why they always
looking
get
forward
sent
to.
back naked, I don't know. You'd think if they have the technology to send people back in time.
I think it's just the fashion can't correlate between the time periods.
At least give them like a pair of boxers.
I don't know that brings
But, like,
that brings the ladies in because the ladies don't care about these action movies.
Fair enough.
But you get these hot dudes in there.
Fair enough, but still, it's like
Arnold
dudes.
Schwarzenegger.
they gotta think about this.
40 years
it's
ago.
Like, okay, we're sending you
40
back to the
years.
past, something we don't know a whole lot about because a lot of our historical records have been destroyed because of Skynet. Where you'll be naked.
They were probably all nudists back then. That
Yeah,
was popular.
that's what we assume. So it's like who knows? Maybe he spawns right in front of like a police department, naked. He gets arrested right then and there.
It's
It's
just
like-
the plot of Observe and Report with Seth Rogen.
I don't know. That's not really a complaint, more of like an observation. It's like, why do they have to be naked?
Are they going to be naked the whole movie? I mean,
You think it's going to be a 2-hour and 15-minute flick, so
something like that.
at least an hour 45 we'll get some nudity in there.
I guess that's kind of the standard of the Terminator movies too. It's kind of like, we'll get you like some nice side ass. Not gonna show like the whole thing.
Like, get some side boob, man.
Yeah, maybe some side boob like in Terminator 3.
Okay.
But I think overall it'll be what I expect it to be. Just a fun action flick.
Yeah, it's going to be fun action. Your typical summer movie.
Yeah.
So.
Will it amount to the first two? Definitely not.
Probably not.
I
I think it could be better than the last one.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll say that.
Unpopular opinion, that super annoying kid ruined the second one for me. To be honest, I couldn't deal with it. I know everybody loves the second one, but it ruined the movie for me.
I'm not totally against you on that statement.
Completely
I will
like
say.
I
movie for
get
me.
it, but the
It
second
didn't ruin
movie,
it for me, but I was just kind of like,
But it's one of
Yeah,
the
I
it's one of the
couldn't
few.
deal with
come
it.
on, kid. I was
sequels.
just waiting for Arnold to kind of throw him off.
It's one of the
at
few
times.
I was
sequels.
hoping, and he just wouldn't.
No, but it's one of the few sequels that surpasses the first one in the series, which is very hard to do. And I will
Empire
give,
Strikes Back. Empire Strikes Back.
Again, I'm saying it's one of the few.
Well,
I'm not saying it's the only one.
Yeah.
One exception, a couple of exceptions don't
But
break the trend.
Yeah, I got
But again,
you.
that's another thing that they're bringing back in this movie is I forget the name of the model, Terminator, but the one that is like the liquid metal.
Yeah.
Feel free to comment on the.
Yeah, well,
T9,
not
I think
as,
T9
I'm
is
not
it?
as up to my Terminator
I don't know my
Yeah.
Terminator
lingo,
stuff.
so
We didn't
people
do
on
a-
IMDb message
We
boards
didn't do
can
a
scream
research
at
before
us
doing this
for not
podcast.
getting
We were
this.
just like, all right, we saw the trailer, let's do this.
Let's
Super
rock and roll.
professional. Yeah, exactly. We're very rock and roll.
We're very Gene Simmons.
Exactly. Hopefully less douchey though.
Yeah, some of us.
but yeah, I think that's kind of cool because I thought that was a really.
I've definitely started some dissent within our ranks.
But I don't know. That was, I guess, the cool part about Terminator 2 is, because the first movie, Arnold Schwarzenegger's the antagonist, and he's this unstoppable Terminator, and you're like, oh man, how are we gonna beat this guy? And then they, kill him, and then it's like Terminator 2, he's like the iPhone 1, whereas at this point they've got like the iPhone 50, and it's kind of like, haha, we have Terminator on our side. Yeah, he's like the old model, man. But somehow he still manages to win, and
He's the classic.
yeah, exactly. Somehow the old models still prevail, which I think that's kind
long
of
as you
Hoping
charge
when they
him
do
up,
make
yeah.
the iPhone movie,
The
that's
iPhone
the
movie.
model
Yeah.
that they'll go with.
they'll eventually
Starring
just-
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
Naturally.
But I think that's again kind of the direction they're going with is Arnold comes back as the old model that it's like you think they could get a hold of a newer model. But Arnold comes back and he's kind of like, hey, I'm the old model, and I'm also very old myself, but I'll help you.
But I
out.
try not to act like it.
Yeah, try not to act like it. I still do action.
Yeah, I wonder if
movies.
they will probably not address the aging whatsoever.
Nah.
We're just kind of like, you look a little old for.
But we're not going to mention anything,
Yeah,
so we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Like again, I think it'll be a fun, action-filled film.
Yeah, same. How good will it be? We'll see, but I'm definitely gonna see it.
I think it'll meet my expectations of just
pure action.
Yeah, like it'll be a fun movie to see. Will I own it? Probably not. I might watch it again if it's on TV. Yeah, but that's
it's kind of like the last one with me.
Yeah,
I wasn't against it, but I really haven't watched it a whole lot since it.
I didn't think
released.
It was as bad as people said it was, but it was an amazing movie. Or anything.
Yeah, it didn't do anything like. I didn't leave the theater getting mad. So.
No.
They did play Rooster by Alice in Chains.
Of course,
so
that boosted it from a 6 to a 7.
Yeah, exactly.
That helps it a lot in my book.
Oh yeah, having a good soundtrack to a film that's good in my book. But we're all music junkies, so though feel free to disagree, haters of Alice in Chains. I don't know, any other statements or thoughts, feelings, emotions you all would like to establish before we close this one out?
I think if you're not a fan of Alice in Chains, you shouldn't listen to this podcast.
Yeah, you should.
Hey, we need views. Man, what are you doing?
I don't care. We don't want their kind.
All right, don't listen to Dave right now.
I'll say this, at least listen to Alice in Chains, then have an opinion, and if you still hate them, you're stupid.
How could you? You have no taste.
But still listen.
But
still listen. Just don't listen to that guy over there. He just got a haircut. He don't know what he's talking about. He's got a haircut.
Listen to all three of us, but still listen to Alice in Chains if you've not heard them, and also go see Terminator Genisys.
Yeah. Alice in Chains, Terminator 5, let's rock and roll.
Exactly.
Not connected in any way whatsoever, but we're connecting them.
Yeah, we're connecting them. Again, that's what we do. We go off topic, then bring you back, full circle. So, yeah, I think that pretty much wraps this up, everybody. So until next time.